Hi everyone, Dawn here with a sweet stamp shop stamp project, and we're playing with Coffee Town. I decided to play with some distress inks, so I've taken vintage photo, and I'm just going to speed this up because it's a little bit boring, but remember that circular motion starting on the craft mat and then working your way in is going to give you a smooth effect rather than chunky, scrapey kind of lines. I decided that, I love the vintage photo, it's probably my favorite color, but I've added some walnut stain and I've got different foam pads for each different color. At the moment they're all in a basket. One day I'll get around to velcroing them all underneath every single one. So what I've done, I was looking for a mini mister and I just couldn't find mine on my desk. So I've squeezed a lot of water down into the brush tip of my aqua pen, but you could use just a regular brush with a little jar with water, that's fine. And by tapping the brush on your finger like that, you're going to get a spatter. The higher up you hold it, the tinier the spatter will be. The wetter it is, the bigger the spatter. And if it's not very wet, you're going to get a finer spatter. You can do this with paint, but I've done this with water because the water reacts so well with those distress inks. I grabbed the roundest thing I could find on my desk, which was an air can for my Copic airbrush, and I stamped a little circle down the corner there, kind of to give a coffee mug thing. Now, I was at a coffee shop yesterday when I filmed this video, and this is for Jessica. Hi, Jessica. I know that you're not feeling well and you just got out of hospital, so I thought I'd play with some inks, and maybe if you've got some of these inks, you could have a go as well. And I hope you're feeling better. I was really inspired. I actually don't drink coffee, but I love this set. So what I did was I just laid out all my stamps where I wanted them, placed the acrylic block over the top, picked them all up, and then everything was going to stamp where I wanted it to go. I've used Memento Tuxedo Black ink because I am going to work with Copics later, but you could use anything you like to stamp on your distress ink. I probably wouldn't stamp with the black distress ink because if you added a bit more water, then it's going to react. But if you want it to react, go nuts. This is a scrap of blending card from an image that I fussy cut out yesterday, and I've Copic coloured it, and I'll put all of the colours down below for you that I've used. I've used some R80s and WOW1. And then I've used my fine Martha Stewart scissors and cut that out. And the reason I stamped it first is means I was happy with the placement and I can just stick that directly over the top. When you're doing this, cut outside your stamped lines. Now this was going to just be a mini card and I thought I had finished until I picked it up and I noticed I'd put some ink on the back. I did decide at the last minute to add a bit of gloss to this. I'm using Dimensional Magic, and that bottle there, I've actually had that for over 10 years. That's just remarkable staying power for a bottle with a fine tip. It's doing really well. It's a little slow to come out, so I skipped most of it. Yeah, because I've got ink on the back, I actually trimmed it off and decided to make a full-size card. So after I trim this off, put it aside while the Dimensional Magic dries. You could use glossy accents or something like that, any of your favourite glossy mediums to get that same effect on the coffee, and you'll see it closer up when I show the card at the end of the video. So I've used some walnut stain again just because the foam was still on my thing, and I've just used a piece of brown basil. I've got to admit I haven't measured this, but essentially I cut just a tad smaller, about 1/8 of an inch all round, and I've stamped tone on tone the words coffee and please and the little takeaway coffee mug all over that brown. So you can see I didn't have to stamp in the middle because that feature piece I made is sitting over it. You know what? Double-sided tape, whack that on a card base, and boom, here we have, ta-da, the finished card. So if you are looking for the Coffee Town stamp, you can find that on my website. I'll put a link below. Thanks to Sweet Stamp Shop for making such cool stuff. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like more, please subscribe to my channel, and happy crafting.